Hello all, I'm Sheikh Khader. Today we have a special guest for Get Refactor channel. His name is Anuroop Nag. He comes from data product management background and he's global product manager for data in Signify. So let's listen to him and understand in depth what is data product management is and how his day-to-day work looks like and what is the future of data product management and how data product management is helping the industry to innovate and deliver value to the customer. Yeah, over to you, Anirudh.
Hi, thanks. Thanks, Sheikh, for inviting me to the session. Um, so I'm the global product manager for data analytics for Signify, and I have been into product management since last few years. And before that, I was in sales, and prior to that, I was into technical coding. So it has been, whole full journey for me, and I really like being a product manager now, and that too being a software product manager, it gives you a kind of freedom and exhilaration that you want to do, coming from the mother branch that you are. So thanks again for inviting me. Hopefully, I'll be able to help you, answer some questions that your audience might want to know from our side. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, definitely, Anurup. That would be the case. So I just wanted to understand, since you have come from functional background, right? So and
Mhm,
now you are into digital transformation,
mhm,
digital product manager. So what do you see if there is any gap between them, or how a product manager exactly fills this
mhm.
gap? So how is your day-to-day life is related to this functional
Okay.
thing that you have worked earlier?
Okay. So, see, when we talk about product management is usually about finding a problem statement, finding a problem that there is in the business sphere, and trying to answer it in the best possible way, so that indirectly, and you help the customers, and directly you help your company earn more revenue. So whether it is a digital product, or whether it is a physical product, or whether it is a financial instrument, the concept or road to answer remains the same. That first you go, you talk to the customers, you understand the market, you understand where your organization is working on, what is the field, what is the sphere your organization is working on, and then you try and find the gaps where you think that you can do something great for your organization and for your end customers also. So there is not much change apart from the thing that when you are handling a physical product or something of a financial product, you are the development process is different than what you are handling in a software product. Apart from that, everything remains the same. It is only the 20% of the thing that changes. Otherwise, 80%, that is core product management, is totally the same. There is no
Yeah,
change
understood. So, I mean,
there.
the product creation process may be different, but mostly
Mhm.
the thought process and ideas would be same. So that's what you meant.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So coming back to your topic of interest, which is a data
Mhm.
product management, really, I understand that when it comes to product management, right, there is technical
Mhm.
product manager, data product manager, and whatnot. There are many actually. So I just wanted to understand what a data product manager does in his day-to-day job, like what is his primary objective, if you can explain. Yeah.
Okay. See, what happens is, with the advent of so much data coming into the picture, you might have heard that, there are many people who are calling data the new oil of the coming generation, right? And so a lot of our systems, and even if in day-to-day life, even if you go to a grocery shop to buy something, they generate a slip for you, right? That with the items and everything. So it is also data. So data is everywhere, right? So what particularly before data thing came into the picture, what we were thinking as a product manager was how to develop a product which we can sell more. Now with data product management, we are taking the byproduct of the product that we have sold and trying to make a product. So suppose if you're selling a mobile phone, you are capturing the demographic data of the buyer, like who is the buyer, what is the age and everything, and from which region that buyer has bought. So that is the byproduct of the actual product that you have sold. And
Yeah.
from that data, we are trying to make a product like which will indirectly give value added services to your customer at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
So suppose if we find out that, we see that our mobile phone is getting sold much more in the North American market, then we, dig deep into it. We see how we can go forward, what are the value added services we can provide to the customer of that region. So we are not only creating one product line, we are creating 2 3 product lines with the help of data product management.
Yeah, that's interesting. You're actually selling something and then getting a data out of it, and then from there
Yes,
you are trying to add value-added services on top of the
yes,
product that you have already sold. Yeah, it's an
yes,
interesting thing. So
yeah.
understanding the consumer behavior itself gives you that strength to
Mhm,
add value.
mhm.
Okay, normally I have seen that customer doesn't know what he wants, but data does tell us that
Mhm.
what he wants.
Yes.
I mean, I say that in that sense. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great,
So,
Anup. Yeah.
yeah. So, as you told about the shake, so what happens is, uh, uh, customer is the king in all the businesses, right? Whether you
Yeah.
are selling a
Correct.
physical product or a data product or anything. So over here, what happens is we trying to find a buying pattern. We try to find a pattern. So more the data product management. So difference between a product manager and a data product manager, if I have to take from this question, is a product manager will utilize the data to see how his product is doing. A data product manager will try to find out a pattern to bring out a product from that pattern, right? So sometimes the customers might be aware that they need this thing, but there is nowhere that, suppose, if I have to tell you, like iPhone sells iCloud, right? You have
Yeah.
to use a subscription to get 100 GB, 50 GB, 200 GB, like that, right? So I'm definitely sure there is some data product manager, there is some storage product manager who might have found out the pattern there. So as I'm taking the example of iPhone just to tell you that, see, the customer might know the need, but
Mhm.
there was no one to translate that need for the customer. So with digital product managers, with data, with software product managers coming, now we are able to translate that need for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Certainly. Yeah.
Yes.
Anurup, now we have buzzword AI, ML. Without that, nothing. I mean, nobody talks anything. So suddenly, if you need attention, definitely we should talk about AI and ML. So that has been the scenario. Let's speak about that. So how AI and ML are taking advantage of data, and how these products are taking shape. If you can explain in your own context of data management and data product management.
Okay. So this is a very big question, Sheikh. So I'll
Mhm.
try to
Mhm.
answer as simply I can. So
Yeah.
see, ML is a subset of artificial intelligence, right? So
Yeah.
artificial intelligence is the bigger superset, and machine learning is the subset of it. So what we are trying to do with the new data coming and across I'm speaking for all the AI ML product managers
Mhm.
maximum across the industry. What we are trying to do here is we are trying to solve two kind of problems. One is for the customer, right? If we can make the buying process easy for them, if we can make the buying process exciting, enthralling for them with the help of data management, right? If we can, like, you go to Amazon and you search, suppose you search for a badminton racket, right? And it gives you a lot of options that, you have Unix, you have lining, you have all this kind of badminton racket. And then you add another 2 3 words, light badminton racket. And then it gives you a lot of
Mhm.
recommendation, right?
Yeah.
So you have bought one badminton racket, and then you see that uh, down below the page you will see that there is a box which comes like that. People who bought badminton racket also bought shuttle and bought this shoes, right? So these are the kind of recommendation engines. So suppose if you are a new badminton player, right, you might not know that you need a non-marking shoe, to go to
Yeah.
play in the court, right? It's a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
people don't know because
Yeah.
people like us who have come from small town, we have played in fields
Yeah.
during evening and everything, right? And coming to the
Yeah.
big cities, you go to the courts, you need non-marking shoes and everything, right? So
Yeah.
AIML helps you, the machine learning algorithm with its recommendation engine helps you to tie all these things together. It
Yeah.
educates the customer, it increases the knowledge of the customer, and in turn increasing the revenue of your company. So this
Yeah.
is one part that is customer facing. Second is internal facing. So suppose you are in a big organization, right? Again, taking the example of the sports manufacturer, like who is producing the shuttle, who is producing the racket, who is producing the sports shoe. So they have so many product lines across the width and breadth, right? So how, can you can understand that it's so much difficult to maintain so much inventory, to maintain the entire supply chain, to maintain the point of sale, to maintain the distributorships and everything. So AIML there helps you to cluster. AIML there helps you to solve the internal business processes and make it far more easier for your business stakeholders to use, right? Like creating a very efficient supply chain pipeline with the help of AIML, that knowing that okay, this will be my reorder point, this will be my re-inventory stocking point, that we can forecast that thing with the help of AIML now, that your machine learning algorithm can tell you, okay, this region will need restocking of this items. uh, Plus, along with business information system, right, the management information system. So if you are a business leader and at the end of the quarter you want to see how much sales you have made, where you have made, so with the help of visualization tools like Power BI, Tableau and everything, it becomes far more easy for the business
Yeah.
leaders now to understand how what they have done and to take corrective actions depending on the data that it is coming. So nowadays, you will see, Sheikh, that you have many products which are successful. Earlier in the day, when we started working, we used to see a lot of products used to become failure because there was no way that we used to get feedback for those products, because once it was launched, and you would have seen in many FMCG products and everything, we used to discard that product saying, okay, no need, okay, it's not selling. But now with this data thing coming into the picture, with this new management information, so the managers know, okay, this is not working, so might be I need to tweak it here. So it is working in this eastern part of the country, so let me focus there more for this product. It might not be working there. So we have increased the success rate of the product with the help of AML also.
Yeah, surely.
Yeah.
I can relate this. See,
Yeah.
one of the product manager I was talking to him.
Uh, uh-huh.
The major business problem in
Mhm,
having a stock is uh, not being able to sell. And
mhm, mhm,
without
mhm,
data, it is not
mhm,
possible that where
mhm,
I can sell this product, right?
mhm, mhm,
So
mhm,
maybe it is not sold in a particular region, and
mhm,
it is possible that it
mhm.
is sold in another region with a different interest. So
Yeah.
having data, I mean, a centralized data on that aspect, right? It
Mhm.
eliminates waste that is going
Yes.
in, and
Mhm,
it brings in value to the business. Like,
mhm,
yeah, certainly, what you told really makes sense. Yeah,
mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So going ahead, like in the next generation products, the data products or those things, right? So
Mhm,
how the mutual collaboration between companies will help? Like since there are different companies working on data, and
mhm,
like they may be in competition, right? So,
mhm,
but how the collaboration of data would help competitors who are working on the same domain, and
mhm,
you want to understand data from all the competitors, how will we
mhm,
build such a collaborative product where
mhm.
user is not using one product but multiple
Mhm.
products, and
Yes.
when every data comes together, then it makes some sense,
Mhm,
right?
mhm, mhm.
So there may be some situations. So how can we get into a collaborative mode than the competitive mode
Okay.
when they are in the same space? So can you throw some light on that?
Yeah. So, see, This is actually a contentious question, I will tell. Why?
Okay.
Being a data product manager, one thing that you are always aware of are the data privacy rules, the GDPR, the new AI policy for different continents, which is coming up, ethical AI and everything, right? So when we talk about collaboration, we have to understand that we are talking about the data generated by the systems. And what are the data that can be generated by the system? One is the system log or the system data that in technical terms we know, right? Out of the transaction of a system or everything. Another is data related to customer and everything, right? So system log data, customer data, these are solely mm, owned and maintained by the company through which this transaction is happening, right? Responsibility of XYZ company to keep it in safe mode, to follow all the GDPR guidelines so that there is no data breach, there is no, privacy hacking or anything of that sort, right? So when we talk about collaborative, yeah, this is a very big thing and it will come in the future, but it has to come with a lot of safety guidelines there, right?
Yeah.
Because first of all, we have to understand, like, we get a lot of calls about financial products day in, day out, credit card and loan, and we get irritated. The customers get irritated, like, hey,
Yeah.
oh, I don't need that much. Okay, if I
Yeah.
need,
Yeah.
and when you need it, you don't get the people, right? And when you don't
Yeah.
need it, you will have 200 calls. So first of all, we do not want to bombard any customer with lot of sales information. That is not will not be right. So when we collaborate, we have to understand how we are collaborating. First, we have to understand the legal guidelines, whether those legal guidelines allow us to collaborate or not. Then we have to take the consent of the person whose data with whom we are collaborating. And thirdly, that collaboration has to bear some fruit, not only to increase sales of a customer or something, right? Otherwise, you might understand that, you have a company, I have a company, and we are working in the same sphere. Then why will I try to share my customer data with you, and why will you try to share your customer data with me? Until and unless there is a need that needs to be satisfied for the customer and a revenue goal which can be satisfied, or can be shared by both of us at the end of the day. So collaborative data journey, although there are few very small examples where it has started, but it has a long way to go with the new
Yeah.
privacy rules and everything. It makes a lot of sense, as you told, right? That you are selling. Suppose someone is, as if I go with the example of sports manufacturer, right? Someone is selling a sports equipment. It would be very good if we can also get the list of the courts where we can go and play badminton in Amazon only. But is
Yeah.
it possible? Are we satisfying the safety guidelines or not? So I think it's still now there is a long way to go. People have started working on the same, but as you know, there is a question of ethical AI, question of GDPR and everything. So it will be a long way, but once it is done, once we can come to a common ground, I think it will help the industry in the long
Yeah, that's awesome answer. Yeah,
run.
I'm hoping that we will get into that space sooner,
Yes,
because collaboration is key when it comes
yes,
to data. And
yes,
since large learning models need a lot of data, and
yes,
maybe one company may not be able to have all the data required, and to
yes.
be accurate, this kind of collaborations will be really helpful and give value-added service that will be really much more making sense actually. Yeah. It's wonderful talking to you, Anuroop.
Thanks, thanks,
I really
thanks.
see a lot of things coming out of this discussion, where I really understood what is data product manager now. Earlier, I had a sense that yeah, so data product manager is about he's about data analytics, but it's not about only data analytics. It's also
Yes,
about bringing value-added services from the data that is getting captured, and
yes,
creating those data pipelines and all that. Yeah.
yes, yes,
Thank you
yes.
so much for joining me, and I hope we'll soon connect again, and we'll discuss
Thanks,
about some
thanks,
other
Sheikh.
topics.
Thanks
Yep.
a lot,
Thank you so
Sheikh.
much
Have a
for
nice
helping
day.
me.